Siobhan will haunt us till the end of the season. Hi everyone, I'm Sandrine here on HappyCool and welcome to a new Banshee review. This week's episode was called You Can't Hide from the Dead. Let's talk about it. First, some quick thoughts. I'm happy that Hood is still dealing with Siobhan's death because sometimes in shows they kind of deal with it for like an episode and then they're like, okay, we're done, move on. Here, it's obviously something that I think we're gonna see the effects of until the end of the season, so I like that. Did anybody love Job's t-shirt as much as I did? Pause. It paused instead of Jaws, right? I thought it was cool. Moving on to Deva. Well, last week I was wondering if it was gonna get so bad that, you know, Carrie and Gordon and Hood might have to get involved. Well, Carrie and Gordon did get involved this episode. Oh, it was beautiful. When the guy pushes Carrie and Gordon's like, oh, he shouldn't have done that. And I was like, yeah, he definitely shouldn't have done that. Even he knows not to do that. And they got their asses kicked. And even Gordon. And I think a few of you reminded me that he was actually in a Marine, so that's why he knows how to fight too. Pretty badass. I knew I loved Gordon this season. I love this scene. I'm not loving Deva so much this season because what is up with her? Ugh! I want to shake her and be like, stop doing this shit. And it looks like, you know, Gordon and Carrie might be, you know, maybe getting back together or something's happening there. So we'll see. Rebecca. She's going behind Proctor's back to make some deals. Not see that coming this season for sure. But at the same time, you gotta admire how she handled the deal. She's kind of an adrenaline junkie, this one. And I don't know how it's gonna end between her and Proctor, because that just, no. And speaking of Proctor, he thinks it's time for her to move on and be on her own. So that's just, it's gonna explode, right? It's just not gonna end well. Chayton! Oh my god, that was so frustrating. Why would the lady help him? I was like, what are you doing? He was about to take you hostage or whatnot, and then you just help him? And you just don't call anybody? Yeah, okay. And then now the neighbor is dead, and you're dead, right? I think she died too. So, great. I think at this point, Amy put it best, like, Chayton is just pretty much a psycho killer at this point, so there is no redemption and no compassion from him. So if you see him, just shoot him. The job! I still agree with Job. They shouldn't have gone through with it. But they did, and it was so stressful to watch, but so good! Oh my god, it was insane! I loved it. I love that you saw the whole action through the cameras that they had set up all over the place and their own cameras. That was just like, oh my god, this is just stressing me out even more. But I love it. Of course, you knew something was bound to happen because this is Banshee, and it did. Job got caught for a while, and then Hood was just kind of, you know, dealing with Siobhan's death. Not the best time to deal with it. But probably the craziest shit was Stowe getting in the trunk. When he got in, I was like, oh, what? That's crazy. Oh my god. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. Thankfully they kicked him out, but he is insane. He's crazy. And if you guys saw the scene after the credits, he will not let this go. He is not happy that someone stole his money, that's for sure. So yeah, not gonna turn out really well. Or at least this is not over, and can't wait to see how it ends. I'm just like, oh, this is gonna be bad and it's so exciting. Finally, the episode ends with Brock and Hood heading to New Orleans to hunt down Chayton. And I think this time, if they have him, I'm guessing Hood will just shoot and not hesitate. So those were all my thoughts, but of course I'd love to hear your thoughts. Were you as stressed as I was when we saw them do the job? Were you cheering Gordon and Carrie on too? Let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of my Banshee reviews and other videos I put on the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye! And did anybody else expect him to recognize Carrie at some point when he was in the truck? Like maybe you get her mask off or something, but thankfully not yet. I'm guessing it will happen eventually because, you know, why not?